Coming up, how police are hoping to solve a string of thefts in White, South Dakota.
Plus, how the Sioux Falls Food Co-op is celebrating its reopening. Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day. South
Dakota's Highway Patrol is investigating a deadly crash east of Mechlin, South Dakota.
Shortly after 10 o'clock Tuesday morning, a truck was heading east on Highway 50, traveling slowly because it was working on the roadway. It did have a light board signaling to other vehicles to go around. A van also heading east failed to move over and hit the back of the truck. The 54-year-old driver of the van was pronounced dead at the scene. The 62-year-old driver of the truck received minor injuries and was taken to the Yankton Hospital. Residents in White, South Dakota are locking their doors after a recent string of thefts from vehicles.
Since June 22nd, someone has rummaged through 5 vehicles. 4 vehicles had items stolen. In the 5th one, the person left behind a vape pen that could lead to an arrest once police send it to the state health lab for DNA testing. Police have some advice to prevent this from happening to you.
Lock your cars. If you don't have external lighting on your house, try to get something. If you're looking into cameras, no cop, law enforcement officer is ever going to tell you don't buy cameras for your house. If it's not for our use, it's for your own personal safety.
Police also obtained shoe prints in the mud and were able to determine the size and brand of shoe. They're also in the process of tracking the stolen credit cards, which are being used to buy items online.
Turning to weather now, temps are rising here in KELOLAND.
Let's see how hot things might get with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
Well, good morning, you two. You know what? It's a return to 90-degree heat in many locations starting today and probably lasting straight through this coming weekend. The only exceptions may be across eastern and southeastern KELOLAND, but still warm or hot as temperatures will approach 90. I think many locations across the east and southeast will probably stay in the 80s today, but that will change over the next couple of days. Hot temperatures for the 4th of July, numbers in the 90s and the 100s. Remaining hot early next week, and I'd say mostly dry. We do have that 20% chance maybe for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Brian Carsons will have more details on your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Medical marijuana will be legal in South Dakota starting tomorrow. Ahead of that day, we received a tour of the state's first medical marijuana dispensary.
Native Nations Dispensary is located on the Flanders-Santee Sioux Reservation. It's expected to open Thursday.
It'll be a typical dispensary that most people would be common to if they went to. There'll be display boards with our menus on it. The thing that we're doing here is we're going out as if we're in a mature market. We know that we're the only people available currently, but we're going to sell as if we're in California or Colorado where we're just already stable. We're not trying to take advantage of the market.
There is also a cultivation facility where areas are divided up to house different stages of growth of the plants. The Sioux Falls Food Co-op is celebrating their reopening with a block party. The co-op has been undergoing renovations for roughly 9 months. Now they're nearing completion.
They've increased the size of their kitchen by 10 times and added some more frozen groceries. General Manager Patrick Saylor says they're having a grand reopening in July to thank customers for their patience and to show off the changes.
Come check us out. The inside of the store is nearly complete. A couple little odds and ends that we're still adjusting for on the inside, and then, you know, obviously some exterior innovations that we're pretty excited about.
The block party will include a DJ, food truck, and fun games and activities for families. That's all happening on July 10th at 4 p.m.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Carsons. Brian?
All right, weather it is, and in the big weather story the next few days, this big area of high pressure and the excessive hot weather in the Pacific Northwest beginning to break loose, and it's coming our direction, at least some of it is, as we head toward the 4th of July weekend. So temperatures are warming on the 7-day. It basically keeps us pretty dry as well, at least going into the start of the weekend. Now, getting into next week, it looks like things might change a bit here as that core of heat slides a little to our east here. It's still plenty hot into early next week. Obviously, our Sunday, Monday forecast is probably the hottest. But there is some tropical moisture, a little pattern here to watch to see if this comes around the bend once we get that high to crank to our south. We'll see if that opens the door to any chances of thunderstorms. It's all going to depend on how these little waves come across the Canadian border and interact with that. Some of these solutions have been a little bit more favorable for that idea, but in drought, it is tough. It's a big battle, and especially in the month of July, it makes it probably even harder. So upfront forecast, dry today. We're going to stick with dry weather, well, the next 3 or 4 days at least. 91 Mitchell this afternoon, 92 in Chamberlain. Here's that 7 days. So when we get to about Sunday night or Monday, that's when that chance of humidity will come back. So even though it's in the 90s, it probably is going to feel a little more humid in Sioux Falls. And then we'll wait to see if we can generate any storm chances at that point. The Aberdeen forecast, hot, dry heat initially. And then once we get into Monday, Tuesday, we'll see if that, again, could change a little bit. But it's still a ways down the road, and the drought's not going to get any better in the first 5 or 6 days of the forecast. And certainly that's true in Pierre, fighting 100-degree heat Saturday and Sunday, even Monday and Tuesday, not much different. In Rapid City, also very hot in the next few days. So prepare for that. We'll continue to watch how changes may affect us next week. Details online at KELOLAND.com.